Today I'm going to be talking about healthy conflict and embracing conflict. It takes courage too. Dr. Micheal Semon, one of my mentors, says that healthy conflict can be an invitation to have something other than a confrontation. Your business system is a system of relationships, and these relationships collapse when we avoid conflict, and conflict is normal. When we avoid conflict, we have a lot of negative things that happen. Here's what happens. Emotions fester, people fret, that fretting leads to anger and resentment. Later you accumulate guilt and mistrust, walls get built between people, distance grows between people, and people leave and go and do it all over again. It's called the employment cycle. Avoiding conflict is not good for anybody. Let me illustrate in a business setting how this worked. So we have the Ukraine team. The Ukraine team books and dispatches service calls for heating and air conditioning companies after hours. And Ann is on the Ukraine team. And Ann had a little bit of a conflict with somebody on another team because Ann would sit there in the mornings. Actually, it was her afternoon. And the other company would take the phones back, but the person at the other company neglected to tell Ann, hey, I took the phones back. So Ann sends me a message, says, hey, could you tell so-and-so such and such for me? Can you tell her not to do this? And I said, no, Ann, that's your responsibility. You have conflict with that person. What you need to do is go directly to her respectfully and ask for what you want. This gives Ann an excellent opportunity to grow. Ann needed to find some courage to speak directly and respectfully to the person at the other company. Talking to her would mean Ann would have to make herself vulnerable. She'd have to speak her heart. She'd have to speak her emotions. She'd have to ask for just treatment. Ann's got to put herself at risk of being mocked or ridiculed. Hey, look, I could have reached out for Ann. I could have reached out to that lady's boss, and told them about Ann's frustrations, but that would have resulted in two adverse outcomes. Here's number one. I would have been doing something for Ann that Ann is responsible to do for herself, and I also would have taken away an opportunity for Ann to grow personally. Here's what happened. After a little bit of coaching and a little bit of encouragement with Ann, how to ask for what you want, Ann spoke with the person and she solved her own problems, okay? And the more they do this together, the less they're gonna bother me. But it takes a lot of courage to confront conflict in your life, but conflict is normal. And conflict, as Dr. Micheal Semon said, is an invitation to have something other than a confrontation. Conflict can be an invitation just to simply have a conversation. Hey, I hope this helped you. I encourage you to go directly to the person in your life that you have an issue with. Go directly to them in private and speak to them first. But it takes courage and you have to be vulnerable. Hey, thank you and God bless. Subscribe to my channel, hit this bell to be notified when a new video comes out.